Hello, Detoxers. My name is Kelly. I'm the health coach here at Elixir, and I'm going to be with you, guiding you through this next week as we go through the detox. So, today we're going to talk about planning and how important that is. It really is the key to a successful detox. So, we're going to go over a couple of steps today of how you can best prepare yourself for the week ahead. And just to start off, I just want to say, thank yourself for showing up here, for giving yourself this gift of self care. It really is an act of love to feed yourself nourishing food and care for yourself. And sustainable change doesn't really come from a place of shame or punishment or restriction. It really comes from a place of love. So, as you're moving into this detox this next week, I want you to really think about that. I want you to think about how you can just view this as an act of self care, an act of self love, and coming from a place of an abundance, of thinking of all the food you can eat rather than the ones that you can't. So, really focus on those really nourishing, nutrient dense foods that you get to eat. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later. But yeah, just thank yourself for being here, for showing up, for caring. It shows that you want something to change and that you want to feel better. So that being said, think about your why for doing this. This is going to be important too as we go through the detox, especially as you come up against those times where you're feeling a little bit challenged. You might have those thoughts that come up that, telling you can't do it, or this is too hard, or you're feeling overwhelmed. So I want you to really think about your why for doing this. It might just be that, you want to get back to eating a healthy diet. Maybe you've kind of fallen off the rails a little bit and you kind of want to get back to that. Maybe this is the first time for you and you want to just have more energy, you want to lose weight, you want to be able to play with your grandkids, you want to be able to hike or do the things you love with the people you love. So really think about your why, and there's going to be opportunity for you later in preparing on Saturday to sit down and kind of jot that out of what's your why, what is it that's driving the action behind this, and you want a really strong why. So this is an opportunity for you to kind of be an observer of your life during this time, of stepping back, maybe getting out of autopilot. It's so easy for us to get into autopilot and just go into default mode and do the easiest thing and excuse me, avoid the pain, and it's just easy to get in that place of where we just get stuck on autopilot. So I want you to view this as an opportunity to think about, maybe how am I eating and what am I eating, and just take that moment to be mindful, also about not only the food you're putting in your body, but also about what you're thinking. What are some of the thoughts that come up for you on the daily? So just taking an observer standpoint. It's almost like you're a scientist, like observing your life and taking note of maybe some things that are working for you, some things that aren't. So just taking a couple steps back, slowing down, slowing the hurried, crazy pace down as much as you can. I know life happens. But just try to step back a little bit and just take some notice of what's going on for you. And then also our Facebook group here. So this is the place that you're going to want to come if you're having issues, you're having struggles, you're not sure what to do, you're feeling overwhelmed. You'll post in the Facebook group. This is a place that is loving, supportive, non-judgmental, and I'm just here to help you however I can. So if you're having problems and you need a little boost in confidence, some encouragement, some tips on how to meet a challenge, then go ahead and post here in the Facebook group. Also share your wins. Show us pictures of your food that you're making and what you're eating, how you're feeling, all the wins. We want to see that and support that and celebrate that too. So we're here on Today is our first live call. Um, then on Monday, we're going to start at 12 noon, excuse me, 12 noon every day, Monday through Saturday. Saturday, we'll have a post detox call. So every day at noon, we'll have a live call. If you can't be here to watch it live, you can always catch it on replay. So just a little bit about that. I also want to talk a little bit about our brains and some of the things that our brains like to do. So our brains are wired for negativity bias. So that basically means they look for the negative. They kind of look for the easy way out. So they're really wired to conserve energy, seek pleasure, and avoid pain. That's kind of we call that the motivational triad. And that's kind of how our brains are wired. So we have to outsmart our brains. So when you're setting a goal for yourself, these things come up, right? The limiting beliefs come up. I can't do this. I did that in the past and I failed, or this is too hard. I don't have what it takes. I'm not enough, whatever that is. So when we set a goal, oftentimes those things will come up for us. So I want you to take notice of that and let your brain kind of have its tantrum, because it's going to do that. It's going to offer you all these things and all these reasons why you shouldn't do it. So just notice it. Notice that, yeah, that's what my brain's supposed to do. It's trying to keep me safe. It's trying to do all these things to protect me. Just notice it and then be like, nah, no thanks. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this. I'm really going to commit to doing this. So notice those thoughts that come up and then replace those thoughts with a thought that you want to think that is going to motivate you to get you through this. So whatever that might be, I'm getting healthier. I'm doing my best. I can do this. I can do hard things. I love that one. So just find some thoughts that you can tell yourself as you're going through this detox when you come up against some obstacles or some days that it might feel really challenging. You be your best, you be your cheerleader. You just cheer yourself on and you can do this, and it's 5 days, and yeah, we're going to do it. So we're here to support you, however that, whatever you need. Just know that I'm here to support you and I'm encouraging you, and I know you can do it. So I want to talk a little bit about perfectionism. So if there's any perfectionists out there, I'm a recovering perfectionist. I want you to make this yours. It does not have to look perfect. It doesn't have to look, if I mess up here, then it's over and I'm done and I've just messed up and I quit. So I want you to have a lot of grace for yourself. That being said, I don't want you to use that as an excuse to slack. So you want to challenge yourself a little bit. You want to hold yourself accountable, but you also want to show yourself just, tons of grace and compassion. So find what's going to work for you, what's going to work for your lifestyle. We all have different lives. We're all in different seasons in our lives. So whatever that looks like for you, I want you to, just find what's going to work best for you, basically. So in the recipe guide, so you should have these guides here, the detox guides, and those came with your welcome email. In the recipe guide, there's a suggested recipe plan or meal plan for you to follow. You do not have to follow that. You can do your own thing. There's some other recipes in here that you can choose from, or maybe you have some of your own. Just make sure that it meets the detox guidelines. So those are set out in the handout. There's a bunch of information in there. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out on the Facebook group, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So let's see. Planning, I'm telling you, is key. This is the most important thing to set yourself up for success. So on Saturday of this week, well, it's like Thursday, 2 days from now, on Saturday, I want you to try to set aside some time to go over, if you haven't already, to read the handout completely. It's pretty short, but there's lots of information in there. Go over the recipes and then come up with a meal plan for yourself. So, whatever that looks like, I want you to just go through. Maybe you choose the one that's suggested. Maybe you do your own. So come up with a meal plan. Um, Take some time to jot down your why. This is really important. So after you're done setting up your meal plan, or maybe before, just take some time to write down your why for doing this. And a really strong why, something that's going to get you through the hard times. So then, also, one other thing to note, uh, the detox plan is suggested to not have caffeine, with the exception of green tea. We are allowing green tea. It's a little gentler on the system than coffee, and it has a lot of antioxidant properties. So we're good with that. But if you're going to not do coffee, you're going to wean off coffee. You're going to want to start that Friday. The the very latest Saturday, but Friday would be better, depending on how much coffee you drink. So there's a suggested guide of how to do that in the handout. So you're just gonna, half decaf, half caffeine for the first day, and then you're gonna slowly, cut that in half from there. And then by Monday, you should be no coffee. Okay. That being said, if coffee is a deal breaker for you, if this is a deal breaker for you, go ahead and have your coffee, but I want you to limit it to 1 cup a day. No more than that if you really can. It really does, the acidity of coffee can really interfere with the detox of our bodies. So I want you to really try. It's a hard one for people, I know, but you could do it. I want you to really try to cut out coffee if you can. But I don't want that to keep you from doing the detox if you absolutely can't do it. The other thing that's important before we start the detox is to make sure you're having a bowel movement every day and having some pretty decent elimination. If we're not eliminating regularly, it really can make the detox symptoms worse. I don't want to say worse. It can compound them. So it just is harder for your body to detox when you're not eliminating, because those toxins stay in our system and it makes us feel bad. So you really want to try to at least be having one time bowel movement once a day. And if you're having trouble with that, there are some suggestions in a handout to take some magnesium citrate. The dosages are in the handout. So start that as soon as possible if you're really struggling to have a bowel movement, or you want to have one at least once a day. So start with that, and then hopefully things will get moving in the right direction before you start. And so if you have any other questions about that, please feel free to reach out. It just means that it might be a little bit more challenging for you. You might feel, a little bit, more flu-like symptoms. You might just have more headaches and things like that. So that's another important piece to talk about. And I want you to really focus on the foods that you can enjoy with this plan. So there's lots of really wonderful nutrient-dense food that is there to help our bodies detox. And so the point of detoxing is really, we live in such a toxic environment, and a lot of stuff can get stuck in our bodies. In fact, toxins that we're exposed to, our bodies are so amazing, and they're there to protect us and to do their best for us. So they wrap that toxin in fat to protect our bodies from it. So our bodies are just so amazing, and when we give them the food that they need, the food they know what to do with. Food is information, and when our bodies are given that information of food that comes from nature, whole nutrient-dense food, it knows what to do with it, and it will move our bodies toward health. And it's really pretty amazing when you just even cut it out for 5 days. You'll notice a difference. So it's kind of fun to see, and just take notice of my body's really working to heal itself right now. It's really doing some amazing things. It's putting out some amazing chemicals and enzymes in our bodies that are helping to move those toxins out. Um, so it's kind of cool to think about like our bodies and how they're made. So when we give them the food that they really need and know what to do with, it's pretty amazing how our bodies can really heal themselves. So just take note of that. That might be something we talk about at the end of the detox of, just what you've noticed. Maybe it'll be that you don't have brain fog anymore. Maybe your brain is just sharp and you have a lot of energy and you're sleeping good and you've lost some inches. These are all things that can happen from just 5 days of eating really healthy, nutrient dense food that's going to support your body. So it'll be fun at the end to kind of just compare notes and see what's happened for you. So the other thing I want to talk about is eating and how we eat. So this is important, and I don't think we talk about it quite enough, but we live in such a hurried, busy world that we're constantly, especially if we have little kids and we're on the go all the time, or even older kids, kids that aren't driving yet. But we're just constantly on the go and just grabbing and eating, and we're eating while we're standing up, we're eating in the car. It can be really confusing for our bodies to do that. So we're really designed to sit down and enjoy a meal with people, with family. We're there to connect. So I want you to think about that. Like, who are you eating with? How are you eating? Are you eating fast and hurried or slow? And really just taking in the food on your plate and how it's nourishing your body. So that being said, also look at the environment of, do you have the TV on? Are the phones out? Are people, not engaged in conversation? And what kind of conversations are you having? Are you having conversations that are going to just make your nervous system, up here skyrocket? Or, are you fighting? Are you arguing? Are you having, stressful conversations about politics or, whatever's going on? A lot going on in the world. But yeah, so just think about that for a minute. Like, what are the conversations that you're having? This really does affect how we digest food. So if our nervous systems are in fight or flight, so there's a reason why we have rest and digest down here, which is your parasympathetic nervous system, and the fight or flight, which is up here where we're running from the tigers, and our blood basically shunts from our digestive tract, and we don't digest our food properly. So this is a big thing. I think that we don't really think about a lot of times. So you want to be thinking about the conversations you're having, how you feel. Are you coming to the table with anxiety or anger or fear? Just check in with yourself and see like what's going on here. And then just make it a time to really connect with the people around you and yourself, and with the beautiful food that you've prepared that's on your table, that's there to nourish your bodies. So yeah, that's I think a really important thing that we don't talk enough about. So it's something I'm personally passionate about. So just connecting around food in just a really beautiful way that nourishes us. So that's all I have for today. If you have questions, please reach out on the Facebook group. And again, I'll see you on. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention. So Sunday, very important. So Sunday will be your meal prep day. So Sunday, you're going to want to go to the grocery store. If you don't go on Saturday, go on Sunday early morning, and then start your food prep. And this is all kind of laid out. I think it's in the shopping list, or it's in the recipe guide. So there's kind of like a set yourself up for success page. Right here, it's page 4 of the recipes. I don't know if you can see that, but it just says set yourself up for success. So there's several things you can do there to make it easy for the week. So you're going to do some meal prep on Sunday. It just lays it all out here for you, what you can do. So yeah, follow that, and I'm telling you that will That will get rid of the overwhelm and any stress that you might have. You know, planning is key. So if you have things planned out, it's all mapped out, you don't have to think about it during the week, and you'll be a lot less stressed. So I can't emphasize enough how important the planning stage is. So Saturday and Sunday, those are going to be your days where you're going to find your meal plan, figure out what it's going to be, do your grocery shopping, and then do some food prep on Sunday and have some things ready to go during the week. One other thing I forgot to mention, days 2 and 3 might be a little rough for you and you might not be feeling well. So you think about, look at your schedule ahead. If you have, you know, pretty busy days, if there are some things you can let go of on those days and reschedule for other days, that might be better. But really just create some margin for yourself on those days. Probably day 3 is usually the worst for most people. So really kind of just create some margin for yourself on that day. Take it easy, and do as little as you can. I know, you know, we have lives that we have to live, and I understand that, but just do as little as you need to, and really just make that a time where your body can really just, you know, be there to help heal and nourish itself. So those might be times where your body's working extra hard to take out the trash on those days. So, okay, well, that's all for today. I will see you at noon on Monday for another live. And yeah, good luck planning. Look forward to see how it goes for you. Okay, I'll see you Monday. Bye.